What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we have something pretty bad and pathetic. So Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row at risk right now. This is crazy. At risk of being delisted in adult game debates. It's been claimed. And this is all from the recent changes in Visa and MasterCard. The fact that they have all these guidelines because they're now purists effectively, right? And things are potentially taking a very dangerous turn. Now, in recent weeks, the few topics in the gaming space have earned as much attention as the adult games debate. It was recently revealed that payment processors for certain gaming outlets are cracking down on adult games, targeting some of the titles that sit in the storefronts of Steam. Now, in an article panned by Gaming on Linux, it was highlighted that a digital retro storefront had been targeted by payment processors looking to clamp down on adult games. But then we have more stuff happening here. Gaming on Linux reportedly received an email from Zoom platform team explaining that they expect the delisting situation to expand even further. It was specifically said that games like Grand Theft Auto, Duke Nukem, and Saints Row were described as potentially at risk. That's insanity. That's insanity, guys. So the activists who started all of this, right, Collective Shout, are literally now, because of their actions of justice, as they define themselves, we are literally at the point of gaming being literally completely destroyed, where what kind of games are you going to allow? Like games of, I don't know, farming simulator, because that's not violent. Like we have a problem here. This is becoming absolutely ridiculous. That being said, violent behaviors and destructive potential of franchises like Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row could be described as gratuitous and harmful to the wrong people, like minors. So yeah, so because minors are buying these games where they should not be allowed to buy them in the first place anyway, because shops should not sell them to them and parents should not buy it for them, they would just rightfully just ban them altogether from the market from all of the adults, right? I mean, this is just insanity, right? Is the answer taking them off the shelves and preventing people from buying them? Absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, man. That's just crazy. So yeah, more articles here. We have this one here. Payment processors, video game censorship, crackdown could extend to GTA, Saints Row, and more. Man, this is crazy. Yeah. As of August 2025, the campaign spearheaded by the Australian group Collective Shout has gained traction, forcing platforms to navigate a minefield of compliance demands while trying to preserve user access to diverse content. With over 17,000 games reportedly affected on itch.io alone, the industry is grappling with what many see as an overreach. It is an overreach that could redefine what's acceptable in video games. So effectively, activists and crazy activists and payment processing companies could soon censor video games and basically ban games from being released because they have gratuitous content or content which is not acceptable for children. As in, wait a second, so all games have to be games for children? Like, are we crazy, or what the hell is going on, right? I mean, just imagine this would affect Call of Duty, Battlefield, like any game which has any ounce of violence could be banned from the storefront because it would be considered as problematic, right? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, wait a second, like, why is it now a problem? Well, it's because of the Collective Shout obsession of banning everything, because they believe that they're the heroes of our times. Yeah, the push to sanitize digital storefronts traces back to Collective Shout, a charity organization founded in 2010 that campaigns against objectification of women and children in media. That's fine, but like, literally this is being used now to basically censor everything, right? Which is the problem. The group has a history of targeting mature video games, notably contributing to the 2014 removal of Grand Theft Auto 5 from Australian retailers like Target and Kmart due to its depictions of women. In recent months, Collective Shout escalated its efforts by directly lobbying payment processors rather than the platform themselves. According to a statement from the group, they approached these financial gatekeepers after months of ignored complaints from Steam. We approached payment processors because Steam did not respond. Collective Shout explained in a public post claiming responsibility for the subsequent delisting of both Steam and itch.io. This strategy leverages the processor's influence as platforms rely on them for transactions. Without compliant payment options, sales grind to a halt. The group's tactics have drawn criticism for being overly broad and ideologically driven, as you can imagine. Critics argue that while protecting vulnerable groups is important, blanket bans risk stifling creative expression, which is what's happening, right? Collective Shout involvement has been likened to historical moral panics over video games, echoing debates from the 1990s about titles like Mortal Kombat and Doom. Yeah. It's just crazy, honestly. Zoom platforms' defiant stance and the risk games. Smaller platforms aren't immune. Zoom platform, a DRM free store specializing in retro and cult classic games, recently disclosed similar pressure from an unnamed fellow member of the industry via their payment processors. In a statement, Zoom affirmed its commitment to artistic freedom. We have no plans to remove any titles and will do absolutely everything in our power to prevent such delisting, they said. To circumvent scrutiny on individual transactions, Zoom is implementing a wallet system where users preload funds alongside enhanced two-factor authentication for security. The platform, funded by industry veteran Bernie Stoller, known for launching the PlayStation and Dreamcast in North America, hosts an eclectic library including edutainment, oddities, and yes, adult-oriented games. It is notably the only legal digital source for original Duke Nukem side-scrollers. So yeah, it's crazy, honestly, man. I hope that this is not going to be the case because yeah, I mean, if this continues, like literally, like where is it going to stop? Because these activists, they don't care about being fair. They just care about pushing their agenda, their crazy agenda, and censoring everything because they believe that they're in the right and they believe that, you know, everything should be sterilized, everything should be bland, everything should be boring, everything should be just pathetic, only for approved for PG, right? Just children approved basic games, because they believe that that's the only way forward. Whereas like this is just absolute madness, like madness. This is insane, right? Anyway guys, that's it for today's video on this one. I'm hoping that that's not going to actually censor these games, but that's the problem. We never know, like literally things can change in less than 24 hours. We saw it with the UK Online Safety Act. We saw it with the Collective Shout and MasterCard and Visa just suddenly just basically sending, changing their policies. So like putting indirect pressure on Steam and itch.io, because if they would not remove these games, they could just shut down the payment processing side of things. And if you shut down the payment processing, you cannot make any more payments. Hence, Steam would lose all the profit, all the money, and they will lose all the revenue, and they would have to shut down. Now, hopefully they find alternatives, which, for example, like having these like top-up banks where you just top up your money into the account on Steam, which I guess you can do it now anyway, right? So you top it up and then you kind of pay from that top-up system into Steam directly, right? So you avoid these payment processors. So I'm sure there's methods to do that for sure. So Steam and itch.io just have to basically get away from these companies because they are behaving like totalitarians. Like these companies, MasterCard, Visa, Stripe as well, like they are abusing their power to basically censor anything that they believe is not acceptable from their own particular guidelines. And again, I don't see like how is this a smart move, because this is going to make them lose so much money, because people will be angry and people will want to move away from them and do everything possible to basically change their MasterCard and Visas to alternative payment methods, because it's just ridiculous. Like, this is just beyond retarded, to be honest, and it just shows that these people, these activists, have completely lost the plot. So guys, that's it for today's video. I'm hoping that things will improve and this is not going to progress as badly as some people think, that it will not come to this, because remember, if they eventually censor these games such as GTA, right, Saints Row, like, that's it, that's the end of gaming, because then from there they can censor literally every single game, because most games have either some action, some guns, some violence. I mean, that's games for adults. Again, if you're a kid, you're not supposed to buy these games because you're a kid, so I don't see the problem here. There's mechanisms to avoid that in stores, parents not buying the kids the games. So again, why was it not a problem for, like, I know, 40 years, 50 years, and now it's suddenly a problem? There's an agenda here, guys, and the agenda absolutely is disgusting, it's evil, and something is really rotten in this particular plan, which is from these particular activists. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next ones. Bye.